Congressional hearings can be long, confusing, and full of evasive answers. Today, we're unpacking a fiery exchange between Eric Swalwell and Kash Patel over the Epstein investigation. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand not just what was said, but why it matters.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for unanimous consent.
Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to submit two sets of documents. The first is a series of emails from the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. They are making FOIA requests to get their own FBI files and not having any success. So I want to bring attention to that by submitting that to the record. The second document that I want to submit to the record, for the record, I know we don't usually read these. This one's not readable. It's completely redacted for the most part, the first 50 pages. This is actually the search warrant that was served on James O'Keefe for a diary that he had already given to the government 2 months before. And as it turns out, there were no indictments here, yet he still doesn't know why he was raided, and I think he deserves to know. So,
without objection.
Thank you.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California.
Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so
you haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of pedophiles. It
sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director, could it at least be 1,000 times?
We have released every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can characterize the numbers however you want it.
Reclaiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political innuendo so you can go out to the sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising article.
My time, Director.
Keep going, reclaiming your time, because the people of California are being underserved by your representation.
If the president is not implicated, why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released. Your fixation on this matter and baseless accusations that I'm hiding child pedophiles is disgusting. Anyone that says that needs to look at the stats alone and go back to the state of California, who's receiving the biggest surge in FBI resources through my redeployment, because the cities of Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco need it.
Director, remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Attorney's
It's a simple question. Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out if you're going to mock
me? Yes or no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
It sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your constituency by focusing on reducing violent crime in this country and the number of pedophiles that are legally harbored in your sanctuary cities in California? I'll work with you on that.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt. Director, did Donald Trump ever say to you, just find and release the entire truth? don't worry if I'm in it?
The instructions from the administration were to release all credible information, and we have done that.
Did Donald Trump ever provide information about Jeffrey Epstein as an informant?
Donald Trump has not been, and I can only speak for the FBI, an informant of the FBI.
So, Director, you've played this cute shell game where you say you can't release everything because the court has said that it legally is not allowed to be released, but the court calls bullshit. Judge Richard Berman said that when you went to the court, quote, information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice. So let's move on, Director. You wrote a book called Government Gangsters. You identified 20 individuals in that book. You put me on that list, at the top of the list. Thank you. My children find it flattering. 20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done
No, the question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster
Director,
and their constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the audio-visual capabilities.
I'm
of
going to
the rooms. I
borrow
don't think
your
you can hear me.
terminology and call
I'm
bullshit
reclaiming my
on your
time.
entire career in
I'm
Congress.
reclaiming my
It has
time,
been a
Director.
disgrace to the American
Director, I'm
people.
reclaiming my
You
time.
can
Will
reclaim your
you
time all you
recuse
want.
yourself?
Mr. Chairman, you're going to allow a witness to speak this way?
Mr. Chairman, would you give
recuse yourself, Director?
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman, would you
Mr. Chairman,
admonish the
point of-
witness not to insult members?
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman,
the
just
committee will remember.
quick point of order. Could the gentleman be extended an additional 20 seconds to complete his thoughts, since the witness decided to interrupt him
and
continuously?
then the witness will be able to respond if he wants. We'll make sure
Thank
he has
you.
time to do that.
My question
Gentlemen,
is,
continue.
will you, Director, recuse yourself, yes or no, from investigating or making decisions about the 60 individuals, including myself, that you identified as government gangsters? Yes or no?
Time of the gentleman has expired. The
No.
witness may respond if he would like.
And the answer was no, as I heard.
Correct.
Okay.
Welcome to Left Lens, where we break down what's really happening in Congress and the Senate through a progressive perspective. Today, we're looking at one of the most tense and fiery hearings in recent memory, where Congressman Eric Swalwell confronted Kash Patel over Donald Trump's possible connections to Jeffrey Epstein. This exchange wasn't just heated, it was revealing about how power operates, how oversight gets stonewalled, and how truth is often dodged when it gets too close to the politically untouchable. Let's set the stage. A Republican member first moved to enter Epstein-related documents into the record. That included redacted FBI files and even a search warrant involving James O'Keefe. Normally, these types of submissions pass without fireworks, but this time it cracked open the door for Swalwell to press Patel hard on one explosive question. How many times did Trump's name appear in the Epstein files? Now, on the surface, that seems straightforward. Either you know or you don't. But what happens next shows how evasive politics around accountability really are. Swalwell asked directly, did the FBI director review Trump's name in those files, and did he brief the Attorney General about it? Instead of giving a yes or no, Patel gave a long answer about how busy the FBI was, how many crimes they were fighting, and how much they were supposedly reducing child trafficking. That sounds good on paper, but notice what's missing. He never answers the actual question. And here's where it gets important. In hearings like this, evasiveness is itself an answer. When a witness refuses to give specifics on something that should be simple, it tells us two things. Either the information is politically damaging, or there's an intentional strategy to obscure the truth. Swalwell kept pressing. If it's not 1,000 times, is it at least 500? If not 500, at least 100? Patel refused every step of the way. And finally, when cornered, he lashed out, accusing Swalwell of playing politics just to get a 20-second fundraising clip. This is a classic maneuver. When you can't defend the facts, you attack the motives. But think about it. What's more political than refusing to give the public transparency about a former president's potential ties to one of the most infamous sex traffickers in modern history? Deflection is itself a political act. There was a moment in this hearing that really stood out. Swalwell, out of sheer frustration, told Patel to use the alphabet. He literally had to break it down to yes or no because the dodging had gotten that bad. That's not just a sharp soundbite, it's a reflection of how broken congressional oversight has become. Members of Congress are supposed to extract truth from powerful officials, but too often the witnesses come prepared with talking points designed to run out the clock and give nothing away. Now let's zoom out. Why does this matter? Because Epstein's case has always been about more than Epstein himself. It's about networks of power, secrecy, and the uncomfortable reality that wealthy, well-connected men, from businessmen to politicians, had ties to him. When the FBI director won't even acknowledge how many times Trump's name appears in those files, it undermines public confidence that the investigation was ever meant to touch the truly powerful. Justice shouldn't have a ceiling, but in practice, it often does. And here's another layer: transparency versus secrecy. The director kept insisting that only credible information was released. But who decides what's credible? The same FBI that failed to hold Epstein accountable for years? The same system that often shields elites from scrutiny while ordinary people face the full weight of the law? When an official says, "Trust us, we released everything that matters," that's not accountability, that's gatekeeping. This exchange also reveals how hearings themselves become theater. Republicans use their time to submit documents that play into their narratives about government overreach, while Democrats like Swalwell pushed on issues of accountability and transparency. Both sides know the cameras are rolling. But buried inside the theater are real stakes. Are the most powerful figures in America subject to the same standards as everyone else? Or will their names forever be buried under black ink in redacted documents? Swalwell's persistence, while combative, underscores a deeper truth. Without pressure, we get silence. Without oversight, we get deflection. And without transparency, the public is left in the dark about matters that cut to the core of justice. So what can we take away? First, evasiveness is not neutrality. It's protection of power. Second, hearings like these show us the limits of congressional oversight when witnesses know they can dodge and deflect without consequence. And third, the Epstein case remains one of the clearest windows into how deeply compromised our justice system can be when the names involved are too powerful to expose. That's why moments like this matter. They remind us that accountability doesn't come easy, and it certainly doesn't come voluntarily. It has to be fought for, over and over again. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to Left Lens. We'll keep cutting through the noise, exposing the evasions, and showing you what's really happening beneath the surface of these hearings. Drop a comment and let me know. Do you think Patel was protecting Trump, or was this just more of the usual Washington theater? I want to hear your thoughts.